Are you tired of feeling like the people that are around you don't respect you? Do you want to feel like the people that surround you, whether that's your girlfriend, your friends, your coworkers, do you want them to actually respect your opinion for once? If you answered yes to any of the following questions, congratulations, because you've stumbled across the most perfect video that you could have possibly found. Because today I'm going to be going over 5 key characteristics of highly effective leaders. Trait number 1 of a highly effective leader is you need to have somebody that's willing to take responsibility. People that are in power have tons of responsibility on their shoulders. So I want you to think about like a king or someone who's very high up in power. And there's a saying that goes around in the sales realm whenever you're trying to reframe somebody on like their mindset and taking responsibility. And that phrase is called, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And the way that we explain it to somebody is, it's not like the gold crown that's actually heavy. The weight really comes from like the burden of responsibility that lies on a leader's shoulders, right? Whether that's the head of a house in a family, like a husband, a dad, or it could be a king or a CEO, for example. They're not just responsible for like the money going into their own pocket and feeding themselves. They're going to be responsible for every single person that's beneath them, that's looking up to them to make decisions, to take action, to build out a plan, and to actually execute on that plan. So in any position of leadership, you have to be able to take on a large amount of responsibility, because there's people that are looking up to you to make decisions, to take action, to build out a plan, to be focused, to be driven. And your decisions don't just affect yourself, they affect everyone that's below you or everyone that's looking up to you. If you want to be a highly effective leader, you have to be able to take responsibility. Trait number 2 is you need to have somebody that has a plan. All effective leaders have to have a clear plan in mind in terms of where they want to push, like a vision or business. Has to have a clear plan on how he wants to raise the kids, how he wants to live his life, how he wants to bring his family up. Are they going to go to church? Like all of these different things, right? He has to have a clear plan in place as to what he actually wants out of a relationship. He has to be able to clearly explain to a woman that he's courting exactly how things are going to go, what are the boundaries, what is he looking for, and where does he want to bring the relationship in the future. All of these factors have to be clearly laid out so that both partners are on the same page. Another example would be a manager of a business. He has to have clear targets, a clear goal. How much revenue does he want the business to be able to bring in, right? He has to be able to have a clear vision from the CEO as well, in that vision going down. What number should they be pushing for? How many team members do they need to bring on? All of these factors have to be in place in order for the business to run at an efficient level. The third example would be your ordinary pastor. The pastor has to have a very strong head on his shoulders. He has to have leadership qualities. He has to have like a strong doctrine in place that he believes in, that he's able to trickle down into the rest of the congregation, right? All of that stems from the top, where if you have a strong pastor who's really living out the faith, he has a strong relationship with God, he's able to get filled up every single day by the Holy Spirit so that he can pour into the rest of the congregation every single Sunday. You see, all 3 of those examples share a common ground in the fact that they have a clear vision, a clear mission, and a clear purpose as to how they want to run things. And it's obvious that you can't have a successful family, successful business, or a successful church congregation if the leader is running around with his head cut off and he has no idea what he's doing. The third trait of a highly effective leader is a really good leader has made a ton of mistakes. And what really good leaders are able to do is they're able to take scenarios in their life where they made a big mistake, or they did something that they regretted, and they're able to learn from those mistakes. I know for me personally, I used to be 300 pounds. I got really fat. I made a ton of mistakes. I used to stuff my face with food, and it got me to a point where I hated the way that I looked. I couldn't fit in any of my clothes. And even though I made a ton of mistakes in the realm of fitness, I was able to lose the weight, learn from those mistakes, and then now I can give advice to people who are out of shape or people who are struggling to lose weight. An effective leader has to be able to take like lessons that they've learned in their life and share that with the people around them to build them up. and to be able to teach them from the mistakes that they made, like how to live a better and a more productive and a more fulfilling life overall. The fourth, and I think most important trait of a highly effective leader is you have to be direct. You have to be able to have difficult conversations with people. You have to be able to be honest. You have to be able to speak your mind, regardless of whether or not it's going to hurt somebody's feelings, right? You can't be afraid of people not liking you or people getting offended by your opinion, especially if it's like a righteous opinion. Another very, very important trait that every single effective leader has is they have very strong communication skills. So in order to lead, you have to be able to paint a clear vision. You have to be able to take action on that, but you have to be able to communicate effectively. You have to be able to get the thoughts that are in your head out in a clear and direct way so that the people around you understand where you want to bring like the vision and the mission within the business or like within dating. From what I've seen, like the best marriages have been where the guy is submitted to Christ, right? So he's submitted to an authority, and then the guy knows exactly how he wants the relationship to be. He can set firm boundaries. He can lay out exactly where he wants to bring the relationship. If he wants to get married to this girl, he's going to be very effective in communicating that to her. And she's going to appreciate that as well, that you guys are on the same page. Another thing that I've realized is really good leaders do a great job of appreciating the people that are working for them or the people that are looking up to them for guidance and for leadership. Everybody wants to feel appreciated. Everybody wants to know that you see all the hard work that they're putting in, and they want to feel acknowledged for that. Whether that is like a girlfriend or a wife, or it's a coworker or someone that is working underneath you. If you're anything like the way that I used to be, I know that you want to be able to take responsibility and be able to lead the people around you in an effective way. If you took notes during this video, I highly encourage you to actually start to implement on some of the things that you've learned today. Definitely just take it one step at a time. If you're tired of being the guy that just sits on the sidelines and lets other people take responsibility and lead and you kind of just follow, and you're sick of that, it's up to you to actually make a change. If you could, make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.